Hi everybody, it's Matt, and welcome back to another, review from Amazon on this channel after a long hiatus. If you're a subscriber to this channel, I will kind of go over that towards the end of the video, but for the general purpose of a review video, let's get right into it. Today's product is going to be the Ansteker 4K Ultra HD Camcorder. You can buy it on Amazon for about $220, something around there. Depends on if you have Prime or not. I don't think that Prime took off too much for this product, but anyways, usually for this kind of format, I do like to set up my Canon EOS Rebel to kind of do an unboxing and give my general opinion on the packaging and stuff like that. But when I got it, I was using kind of a mobile setup, so here's just a couple impromptu pictures, just because I wanted to be able to test it and get a review going as soon as I had everything set back up. So overall, packaging is good, solid. To be quite honest, it is what sold me on this product after I looked at it a few times. And it does seem like a decent camera. We will get to the review in just a second, but right now I'd like to kind of point out I'm on the Canon EOS Rebel T6, so as the, review will go on, I will switch over to the Ansteker 4K Ultra HD camera. However, since my Canon Rebel only goes up to about 1080p at 30 FPS, that's what I will have the Ansteker set to. So if you're hoping to see a 4K footage video or something like that, I'm sorry, but I want to keep things a little consistent on this and give a decent comparison rather than kind of like here's 4K versus 1080, stuff like that. So I guess we'll get right into the review and the comparison. So I will switch over to the Ansteker and we will continue the rest of the video. For the first bit of switching to this camera, I will be using the external microphone that comes with it. The camera also does come with a wide-angle lens. However, I do not have that on right now because for these purposes, I only really want to capture this much of, my background. However, it does add a bit. It doesn't add too much, but it is a bit of a noticeable difference between using the wide-angle lens and not. Some of the pros to this camera are that the packaging is good. It's a solid packaging, and honestly, I was really surprised with how it looked. For an off-brand, not really off-brand, but an unknown brand, to me at least, it really did well with its packaging and kind of showed that they do actually take pride in their product. Another pro to this, you can probably hear it right now, is the microphone. If anything, I might have to boost it in editing, which if I do, I'll put a little thing around right here just to say it is boosted. But for an external microphone that just kind of plugs into the jack, it does work pretty well. I was genuinely surprised. And you can use this microphone with anything with an audio jack, really. I used it on my computer for a bit just to test it out, and I was actually blown away. It sounded as good, if not probably better at this point, than this microphone that I'm using right now, just because my mixer is blown out as I hit the stand for it. Another pro that I do like about this camera is the features. It has a very good night feature, night mode feature, night vision feature. It is infrared, so you don't get really too much color or anything like that. It does look a little dark, but if you're using it for just kind of recording at night or whatever you'd like to be using infrared for, I'm not quite sure. I guess if you wanted to do some ghost hunting or something, it would be a decent camera, but you might want to bump it up in editing afterwards. It does work well, and when you're kind of looking around, it does show you all the big things. So I can really say I'm impressed with that. Also, with the features, it does hook up to a TV, a computer, basically anything pretty easy. Even a smartphone with the app that comes with it. It does have a QR code on the back of the box, so it can just take you to the, App Store of whatever device you're using, and that is kind of helpful. It is a little confusing to set up. For a second, the layout isn't too great, and it doesn't always connect right away. I'd say it's confusing. It takes a second to go, oh, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Other than that, it's pretty easy. Just connect it to the Wi-Fi built into the camera, and it will kind of detect it. Just sign in the password, and you're good. So moving away from that microphone, back to this one for the cons. The big thing with this one is it does feel kind of cheap. It feels kind of like a toy, and I mean that as it feels like it's really cheap plastic. It feels put together well, but tapping on it, doing stuff like that, it does feel like a toy. In my hands, it feels like a toy. The strap that it comes with is kind of loose. You can adjust it and everything like that, but it still feels kind of like it'll fall off at some point. So I wouldn't recommend it if you're very solid about like rock climbing or something like that. You'd probably want to just stick with the GoPro, honestly. Another thing that I do have to say in a con section about this is there are no settings for it. That being like a white balance. I guess you can kind of adjust the exposure a bit, but that's kind of the only thing. It calls it environment, which it just kind of brightens or darkens everything around it. The one thing I wish that I could adjust would be the white balance, because depending on what kind of room you're in, the environment, you're going to have to try to trick it so that then it looks like a color that you like instead of just whatever the background color is. In this room right now, without my window open, without some natural light coming in, everything does look a little orange, so I'm not really able to use this camera at night, but as long as you can trick it to work, it'll be fine. Another thing with just my camera, I'm not sure if it's all of them, but the zoom does kind of stick a bit. You do have to be kind of careful. Also, the zoom is only digital, so it's not going to be great for very long distances or anything like that, but in just kind of a setting that I'm using it for, a general just YouTube or starting out doing some production camera, it is decent. It does get a little grainy at times. Big figures like myself, or I think even maybe the microphone might be fine, but the background does get a little grainy. Things do get a little choppy, but it does pass. It is decent. It is lightweight. However, if you do put the microphone on it and the wide angle lens, it does feel a little weighty, but even that isn't too bad. Another thing that I've noticed, at least in my testing, is that when you use it as a webcam, it only locks to about 720p. It may just be my testing. I haven't been able to test it fully yet, but I've only been able to get it to about 720p for webcam. And also, I haven't been able to capture audio from it as a webcam as well. It's a feature that it says in its product description, I believe, but again, I haven't been able to get it to work. Maybe I just have things set up a little weird, so I will be doing some testing. If I do find something, I will put it in the comments below. Other than that, it's a decent camera. I wouldn't recommend it for anything too heavy production-wise or anything like that. If you're trying to use a very professional camera, this will not be it, but for the price point, it is a very solid camera. I bought it to do just kind of general stuff like this, hook it up for streams, stuff like that, or just family vacation stuff. So it works for my uses. I wouldn't use it for like a professional environment. If you kind of need something just to get by, this will work. It is a solid camera. It does look fine. I would give it about a 3 stars out of 5 though, just because of the lack of, I guess, settings and stuff like that. Other than that, that's been the review. If you're a subscriber to this channel already, uploads have been a little slow lately because of the microphone and the mixer. The mixer has been blown out, and I've been a little kind of weary to make a video where the audio is just always cutting out, or is blown out, or is just generally terrible. I'm one of those people on YouTube that actually cares about how a video sounds. I will tend to click away from a video if it doesn't sound too great, so I want to hold myself to that standard as well. However, I did want to get this review out before too late, because I just wanted to get something done. So uploads may resume on a regular basis soon after I get everything kind of replaced. For now, I am streaming on Twitch and posting a lot on Twitter, so if you're not following me there, it's MatU96X on Twitter and Twitch. It's both the same. Just do kind of random stuff sometimes. Anyways, with that being said, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Links to the camera and Twitter and Twitch are down below. Consider subscribing if you like the channel, and I will see you next time. Bye. I don't know why I went high pitched there, but bye.